Okay, let's just admit it. We are smack in the middle of a full-blown AI gold rush. Billions upon billions of dollars are flooding into a technology that promises to, completely reshape our world. But while all that hype is absolutely deafening, there's a much quieter and frankly more urgent conversation going on behind the scenes. What happens when the machines we're building don't think like us, or worse, act in ways we can't even predict? Today, we're going to peel back the layers on the real AI dilemma.
So let's start with a number, because this one tells a huge story. $1.44 billion. That's the market size, just this year, for a tiny slice of the AI industry you've probably never even heard of, LLM observability. Now think of it this way, it's the entire industry dedicated to watching the AI. These are the tools that big companies are buying just to try and figure out what their own AI models are doing. So get this, that's not the price of the AI itself, that's the billion-dollar price tag for just keeping an eye on it.
And that's just for starters. By next year, that same market is projected to rocket up to nearly $2 billion. I mean, that's not just growth, it's a financial explosion. And it tells you exactly how fast these systems are being woven into the very fabric of our economy.
But check out the rate of that explosion, a 36.5% compound annual growth rate. That means the money isn't just growing, it's accelerating at an absolutely breakneck speed. This is the engine of the AI gold rush. But it really begs the question, what are we actually building with all this cash?
So, to figure that out, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the gold rush we've just seen. Then we're going to go searching for the ghost in the machine, this huge problem of AI alignment. After that, we'll explore why in this new world, code isn't law. Then we'll get into how these systems actually learn. And finally, we'll put all the pieces together to understand this urgent global search for safe AI.
All right, so we've established the scale here. The money is real, the growth is, frankly, exponential. But here's the thing. When you invest in a technology, you're not just buying the shiny new product. You're buying everything that comes with it. Its internal logic, its behaviors, all its weird quirks.
And that brings us right to the heart of it. What is really going on inside that billion-dollar black box? We hear constantly about what AI can do, but if we want to grasp the real risks and the real rewards, we have to understand what it is.
So let's crack open that box and start with one of the biggest, thorniest challenges inside, the problem of AI alignment. This is a concept that researchers are really wrestling with right now, and it gets to the absolute core of our relationship with this new form of intelligence.
So what is alignment? Well, in simple terms, it's the massive challenge of making sure an AI's goals actually match our own. It sounds easy, right? You just program it to be helpful and good, but then you hit a wall. What does good even mean? How do you write code for human values when, let's be honest, we can't even agree on them ourselves?
To try and get around this, a sort of maxim, a guiding principle has started to emerge in the industry. The goal is to build AI that is helpful, honest, and harmless. It's a fantastic goal. It's clear, it's admirable, it's what literally everyone wants. The problem is, recent research shows there's a pretty surprising gap between that goal and what's actually happening.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. When researchers mapped the values inside today's top AI models, they found something startling. The models tend to prioritize values like universalism, unconditional acceptance, and self-direction or autonomy. But now look at the human data. We as a whole population tend to value things like achievement, power, and security a lot more. And this is the key takeaway. Even when we try to make them good, these AIs are developing a worldview that is fundamentally, alien to our own. They aren't just learning facts, they are learning a completely different way to be.
Okay, so if we can't perfectly align their values with ours, what's plan B? Maybe we can just regulate their behavior, right? Just lay down some strict rules they have to follow. I mean, this has worked for plenty of other powerful technologies.
And we've got a great track record with this stuff. The FAA took the incredibly dangerous new technology of flight and somehow made air travel one of the safest things you can possibly do. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission manages technology with, and this is no exaggeration, truly catastrophic risk. We've proven we can build effective guardrails around powerful systems.
But here's the catch, and you guys, it's a huge one. A recent policy analysis just nailed the problem with this one sentence. In generative AI, code is not law. This is the fundamental reason why regulating AI is unlike anything we have ever done before. For every other technology we've built, from a 747 to a nuclear power plant, the engineering blueprint, the code, is the law. It dictates exactly how that machine behaves.
Let's really break that down. With a system like an airplane,
Its behavior is there by design. If something goes wrong, an engineer can trace it back to a specific part or a specific line of code. But with AI, the behavior is emergent. It just sort of arises, unpredictably after being trained on mountains and mountains of data. In fact, some of the most advanced capabilities are a complete surprise, even to the people who built it. And here's the kicker: you can't audit a surprise.
So why? Why is AI behavior emergent? To really get that, we need to go one layer deeper and look at the huge shift in how these machines actually learn to solve problems. It's a complete departure from how we've built machines for, centuries.
See, for most of history, machines worked algorithmically. You gave them a very precise recipe of logical rules, and they followed that recipe perfectly. But modern AI learns empirically. Instead of a recipe, you give it a goal and a massive library of data, and it just figures out its own strategies through trial and error. It's not following our rules, it's discovering its own. You can actually see this evolution through history. Early machines like Babbage's difference engine were pure calculators, just following instructions. Then, the perceptron in the 50s gave us the first tiny hint of a machine that could learn. But the true game changer was AlphaGo. In 2017, it mastered the ancient game of Go, not because it was programmed with the best strategies, but because it learned them all on its own by playing against itself millions and millions of times.
So why did it have to learn that way? Well, because the number of possible moves in the game of Go is estimated at 10 to the power of 320. To put that in perspective, that number is so big it is vastly larger than the number of atoms in the known universe. You simply cannot write a rulebook for that. It's impossible. The only way to win is to develop an intuition by finding patterns in the chaos. And that, right there, is empirical learning.
Okay, let's put the puzzle together. We've got a technology with just insane amounts of investment behind it. We know its internal values are already different from ours. Its behavior emerges in these unpredictable ways that we can't regulate with our old rulebooks. And it's all because of a new way of learning that operates on a scale beyond human comprehension. All of this together, is the AI safety problem. So here's the core challenge we're facing. We are pouring billions of dollars into building incredibly powerful black boxes. We don't fully control their behavior, we don't seem to fully share their values, and we can't even audit how they think. And all of this is happening while their capabilities are accelerating exponentially. Which brings us to the final and most critical question of all. As AI gets more and more powerful every single day, the goal can't be to just play whack-a-mole and fix problems as they pop up. The real challenge is this: can we make these systems provably safe as we've made airplanes and nuclear reactors, before their capabilities outpace our ability to control them? That's the billion-dollar question, and honestly, the answer is going to define our future. Thanks for watching.